All right, let's get started. Hello, everybody. Come on, everybody. This is camp. This isn't school. This isn't a seminar. Hello, everybody. A little bit better, just a little bit better. I'm Kaz. I'm a program coordinator at Littleton Parks and Recreation. We got our camp directors here. I'm going to introduce them in a second. Everybody got a handbook. We're going to go over that. Hope everything is in here that you need. It's newly designed by yours truly. So if there's any typos, send that to Tim Mahowski. He'll take care of that for you. All right, so we're going to go over this. Staff will introduce themselves, and then at some point, they're going to bring your kids out to the playground to hang out while we get through the sort of the nitty-gritty here. Okay. Questions at the end, unless you have something that's urgent and you need me to answer it, I must answer it right now. So welcome to Camp Team 2023. We'll talk about that crazy, funky first week with the water main break here in Shaker Lane and how that's going to work in a little bit. Slide 10. So our staff is, we have a camp director, our Parks and Recreation Director is Alicia Day, she's not here. Our Assistant Director is Tim Mahowski, he's in the watermelon shirt over there. The lawnmower shirt, I'm John Kazanjian. I'll introduce some of our other staff. On the next slide, we have Megan Bell, our camp director this year. Got great spot for all the 2 assistant camp directors this year. We're very lucky we have from 2021. And I'll go back to that and talk about her in a minute. But Hannah Levin-Saylor is joining us. She's not here tonight. She's a kindergarten teacher in Compton, California. She'll be back next week. So, and then we're lucky to have James Ray back with us. He was our director last year, and many years before. He's going to fill in as needed. All of our staff are pro rescuer, CPR, first aid, AED trained at the very least. Some of them are lifeguards. A few of them just had their lifeguard training this weekend in freezing cold swimming pool in Lexington. We interview everybody, we check references with everybody, and it's all about their experience, expertise, and enthusiasm for the job. Our ratios for staff, kids is 10-to-1 when they're older than 7. I can do this by heart. And then if they're under 7, it's 5-to-1. Those are our state guidelines. We do better than that here at Camp T. And then we always have about 6 camp counselors and trainings. Mr. Tommy Lanfors is our only CIT who came tonight. He's one of our CIT. Welcome, Tom. Although they weren't going to be here, but Tommy, because he loves camp so much. Slide, Tim. All right, so this is Alicia Day. She's our Parks and Recreation Director. This is Tim and Finley the Fury. That's his daughter right there. She's a camper. His wife, Kara. This is Kelsey Janetti. If you call the office, you've spoken to Kelsey and her baby, Tyler. And this is me and my baby boy who just graduated from Littleton High School this weekend. Thank you. We did it. We got one more to go. This is Brent Labraga. He's running our LEAP programs, our enrichment programs at the middle school. And he also runs Teen Adventures. So when your child graduates from Camp T, there's places for them to go all the way up until entering 9th grade. And this is Ken Krilla. He's a newest addition. And he is going to be our aquatics director and working with Tim at the beach. He's going to be working the after school program next year known as Duck It Out. Some of you may already know that. All right, I'm going to hand this over to Megan, and these guys are going to take you through this.
Hi everyone, my name is Megan Bell. This is my first summer as the camp director. When I'm not doing camping, I am a phys ed teacher in Cincinnati.
Thanks everybody, and as Kaz said, I'm James Ray. This is going to be my 13th summer at camp as a staff, which is awesome. Yeah, which is great. I went here as a deer all the way up through the Tigers, and I just haven't left, so I couldn't say I'm back at all. So Here I am, it's great. When I'm not at summer camp, I teach high school math in Billerica, Massachusetts. That's a big one. I like it.
Hey, I'm Haley. I'm the lead of the Deer. This is my 7th summer here. And I just graduated from Westfield State with a major in early childhood education. So I'll hopefully have a kindergarten job by the school year.
Hey everybody, I'm a sports specialist at camp. This will be my 6th summer on the staff, and I just finished my junior year studying statistics at the University of New Hampshire.
I'm Emily Bell. This is my 3rd season at Camp T. I am the lead of the Foxes, and I want to be a kindergarten teacher. Sorry. Hi, I'm Kate. This is going to be my 6th summer working at camp, and I'm in the Foxes this year. In the fall, I'm going to UMass Lowell for mechanical engineering.
Hello, I'm Amber. This is my 4th summer at Camp T. I'm going to be the 2nd lead of the Bobcats this year, and I'm currently attending Emerson College studying film and hopes to be a director or a filmmaker.
Hi, my name is Stella. This is my 4th year at Camp T, and this will be my 2nd year as the music specialist. I attend Trinity College in Hartford, Connecticut as a double major in psychology and sociology.
Hi, I'm Abby. I just graduated from Pittsburgh State with a degree in elementary education. This is my 3rd summer here, and my 2nd year as the art specialist. Hi, my name is Paige. This will be my 4th summer at Camp T, my 2nd as the lead of the Monkeys, one of our entering 1st grade groups. Currently attending the University of Connecticut, majoring in human development and early childhood education.
Science specialist, and I'm currently at the University of Vermont studying biology.
Hi everyone, my name is Catherine. I'm lead of the Bobcats. This will be my 4th summer at Camp T. I'm an upcoming junior at Bridgewater State University studying elementary education and English.
Hi everyone, my name is Brooke. This is my 2nd year at Camp T, and I'm going to be the lead of the Wolves this year. I'm going to be a sophomore at Bucknell University with a major in business management and organization.
Hi everybody, my name is Curtis. This is my 1st year at Camp T. I'm going to be part of the Deer, and I'm currently going to Worcester State studying business.
Hi, I'm Gracie. I'm in front of the Deer. I am studying elementary education and junior at Keene State University. This is my 1st year.
This is my 1st year, and I'm expecting to hear about this next one. I'm getting closer to the year. Hi, my name is Landon. I'm a going to a senior year at Neshoba Regional High School, and I'm going to be a counselor for wellness.
Hi, my name is Will. This is my 3rd year as a counselor. I'll be in the Foxes, and I currently attend UMass Lowell studying business.
Hi, my name is Ben Murphy. I just graduated from University. This is my 7th year, and I will be the lead of the Tigers.
Hi, my name is Madeline. I just graduated from Littleton High School. This is my 2nd year at camp. I will be in the Monkeys.
Hi, I'm Amaya. I'm currently a student at Littleton High School in my first year at camp, and I'll be working with the conference.
I'm Chloe, I'm attending the University of Vermont next year. I'm studying psychology. This is my first year at camp and I'll be with the Bobcats.
Hi, my name is Emily. I'm going to be a freshman at the University of New Hampshire next year, this fall, and this is my first year at camp, and we're working with the Hawks.
Hi, I'm Sydney. I'm Sydney. I'm going to be a senior at Littleton High School in the fall. It's my second year at camp, and I will be with.
Hi, it's Tyler, and I'm going to be a senior in the fall. This is my second year at camp. I will be. My name is Zach. I'm going to UMass Amherst. This is my second year at camp, and I'm going to be with the Monkeys.
Hi guys, my name is Harv. I just graduated from Wilton High. This is going to be my third summer at camp, and I'm going to be the technology specialist.
Hey everyone, my name is Will. I am a sophomore at UMass Amherst studying computer science. Senior camp counselor. This is my first year, and I'm going to be with the Hawks. Hey, my name is Sam. I'm going to be a junior next year at Littleton High School. This is my first year at camp. I'm going to be with the Hawks. I mean the Wolves. Sorry.
I'm going to be a junior next year at Wilton High School. I'm going to be working with boxes. What year? First year again.
My name is Ronit. I'm going to be a junior next fall at Wilson High School. I'm going to be an aftercare specialist.
Hi, my name is Brandon. I'm going to be a junior next year at Wilton High School. It's my first year. I'm also
Come on. I'm going to carry you.
I am going to be a junior at Kingston High School. This is my second year of camp, and I will be with the Bobcats.
Hi, I'm Greta. I will be your healthcare specialist this year. I go to Mount Washington and I'm training to become an EMT. And this is my first year.
Hi, my name is Roger. This is my 7th year at Tahattawan. I'm the leader of the Hawks, and I'm a senior at UNCW studying mathematics.
My name is Daniel Christmas. This is my third year at camp. I am a senior next year.
What group do you work? In the Monkeys. The Monkeys. These guys are all awesome. I want to point out that we have the class valedictorian from Littleton High School. Alumni field. There you go, Daisy.
Daily schedule looks like we have morning care or care starting at 7:30. That is an additional cost if you're looking to sign up for that. We do have a rolling drop off. The top picture will kind of show you what that drop off looks like, and we send that out in our welcome email every single week. So if you're not coming and you don't know, you will see that, and you will also see a card plug into Shaker Lane.
Megan, let's talk about how like the year are gonna be walking this year. The people that need extra help, we're gonna have why?
Yep, so, our specialists, the sports specialist.
No.
Yeah, they're gonna literally park, get out of the car.
Yeah. This year we're gonna have here and anybody that needs any extra help, extra time on drop off or pickup. They're gonna park in a lot and they're gonna walk in the building or just up to the entrance. We found that last year when people were having a hard time, saying goodbye to mom and dad, that it just took a really long time for us to get through the line. So if you think you need additional time, please just park. If you're coming up and you're having a hard time, drop off, just circle around and park and then walk. All right?
Morning meeting that takes place every day. It's just a in with everybody. Meetings, all that stuff. Morning, we rotate through our blocks of music, art, sport, science, and technology. We have lunch and we spend up on late. Then our pickup for non-aftercare is 3 to 3:30. It's the same as the roll and drop off in the morning. Same road and everything.
Recording in progress.
Here, if that's something that you are needing as well, additional hours. Childcare.
Slide.
This is a much more detailed schedule that shows that we have like times for everything and that good stuff. And then this is our schedule continued, so it shows what time junior camp and senior camp are swimming. Junior camp does have an additional block after swim time, and then it shows our pickup and snack and whatnot.
So campers, this is the most exciting part, is the whole week. At Camp T, Monday we start off as just a regular camp day, but our staff do a great job of getting everybody to know each other, getting to know names. A lot of name games happen. Tuesday is a typical day. Wednesday we have a performer, which is really exciting. So we'll get the whole camp together. Everybody will watch performance. Thursday is dress up day, so all the staff is going to be dressed up with whatever the theme is. If it's beach week, we're all going to be in beach theme, Hawaiian theme. It's a lot of fun. We give out a spirit award, so make sure you dress up on those days. And then Friday we go on a field trip. So this is a more detailed schedule, again, like what Megan was saying. Our lead counselors have these on them at all times. We have them up the front desk. So if you need to drop your kid off late or pick them up early, you know exactly where they're going to be at the exact time. So you can always come in, you can call us and say we'll be there in 5 to 10 minutes. We'll go get your kid from, let's say it's art at 11:30 on Monday, and then we'll pull them from art, and then we'll have them ready for you to pick up. Same thing for drop off. If you ever drop them in late, we'll get them right to their block, and they'll know where to go. This is just an example of the senior camp schedule. You can see here that we have a long block activity built in where hopefully we can have the whole senior camp come together and do a long block. It might not happen if we have a performance or something like that. Things may get pushed. But that's kind of the nitty gritty schedule stuff.
Sorry, we realized we forgot to put down which group name is which grade, and that can be a little confusing. So the deer are those campers entering kindergarten. They will be in kindergarten in the fall. The foxes are campers going into first grade or transitional. Bobcats, it's second grade, but then you can also pick if your camper went to transitional, whether they want to be with the kids in their grade or the kids that they were with in kindergarten. Hawks entering third grade, wolves entering fourth grade, tigers fifth and sixth grade. What about monkeys? Monkeys, sorry, that is also first grade. Yeah.
So we have record numbers this year, which is great for us. We're actually super excited about it. But the groups are getting so big that we actually need more groups. So that's that was a great question. We were going to talk about that with the monkeys, and then we actually have to split the bobcats as well this year because we're getting so many kids, and we can't do it to our staff to put 50 kids in a group. So we're going to split them and have 2 groups of 25. So that'll be the foxes and the monkeys. And then the same thing will happen with the Bobcats. We're still workshopping a name for them, but there's going to be 2 groups of Bobcats as well. And they'll be integrated into the schedule. They'll all have their own blocks. It'll be 26 or 25 kids per group. And we know that everybody wants to be with their friends, and we are super accommodating of that. So if your kid is in first grade and you do know I really want them with this kid, or I don't want them with another kid, we can try to make that happen as well. We'll give you guys the Camp T email, and you guys can just shoot us an email, and we'll make sure that when we split up the groups for the week, that we'll take your kid and we'll put them in the Foxes with, this counselor and this kid, just to make it happen. So, and if you have more questions on that, feel free to ask, or send us an email and say, hey, I was just a little confused, or somebody I know, I just found out they're going to camp, can they be in the group too? We're more than happy to accommodate that.
Talk about the transition, very transitional. Yeah.
Just if your child isn't transitional and you want them to be with a specific group, if you could just send us an email, we'll make sure to take care of that. Any more questions about groups? Wonderful. So this is our discipline policy. I'll kind of start with the minor offenses because that's kind of where it seems to be the most. So it would be like a disrespect of staffs or any sort of like inappropriate behavior, even inappropriate behavior on the bus. The first offense is a verbal warning. We will have your counselor, your child's counselor, or James, Hannah, or I will talk to your child about it. The second time it does happen, which hopefully it doesn't, it would be a little quick break away, nice calm down, cool off. If it happens for a third time, it would be a loss of some sort of inactivity, and a note would go home to you guys. The fourth offense, or sorry, not a note, we would tell you about it. The fourth offense would be a written note home, and then the fifth offense would be we would ask you to not bring your camper back to camp. And then our serious offenses, anything that kind of endangers someone, swearing or any sort of inappropriate behavior like that. The first one would be a written note home to you guys. Second would be they would be removed from the activity. They would come sit up with us at the director desk. And then the third time it happens, they would not be allowed to come back to camp for the rest of our camp season.
So we have a checklist on the back of your parent handbook. It's a first aid checklist that was created by Kaz, which is an awesome idea. But then in the page right before that, we have kind of a more simplified what to bring to camp. Lunch and snacks, because the kids are active all day, they're running around. If you send them with a water bottle, we have water bottle refill stations over at the school. We bring a big jug of water out to the playground so they can fill it up outside. We'll also have water bottles that we can give them in case of an emergency. But we do ask that you guys send them with plenty of food, plenty of water throughout the day.
We also bring a big water cooler to the lake on those really, really hot days to make sure everyone's really hydrated as well.
Thanks, Megan. Sticking with the active day, we ask that you send them with closed-toed shoes. Crocs are great because they're easy on, easy off. But if you send them with sneakers, and even if they are going to change for the lake, that's totally okay. If you send them with flip-flops or slides, they can totally do that. But we do ask when they're running around or even out at the playground with the wood chips and everything. It's just kind of a safety thing. We prefer that they come in sneakers or Crocs. You can see sunscreen. We have time where we're going to have all the staff help out the kids put on sunscreen. So they'll spray their backs, they'll rub it in, make sure the kids aren't getting sunburned down at the lake. For our younger campers, we do ask that you bring a change of clothes just in case. You know your kid better than we do. So if that's a thing you're worried about, you can just stick them in the bottom of the bag. And then Camp T t-shirts for field trip days. They're these bright yellow shirts that say camper in the back, and they have our camp sun, which is awesome. So that way we don't lose them. We've never lost a kid thanks to t-shirts. No, I'm just kidding. Thanks to the staff. But we're really good about that on field trips. We quadruple count them. We're always with the kids on field trips. They never leave our site. And the shirts is just an extra thing. And then the kids sign them all at the end of the year. They love doing that. As a take-home memory. Tim will talk more about the Type 3 PFD and the life jacket with Christian's Law, but if you need one of those, please send those in. We're not supposed to give those out to kids from the lake. And then a bathing suit and a towel. And changing is always a tricky thing sometimes with these young guys. We have a couple bathrooms that we let them change in. If your kid is able to come in and doesn't mind coming in already in the bathing suit, we ask that you send them in that. I know sometimes it's uncomfortable and stuff, but
if they can come right in the bathing suit, that would be preferred. Again, we have plenty of time for them to go and change. Then we talk about what not to bring from camp. Please no electronics, especially in this day and age, phones and cell phones and things and iPods and things for kids. Please don't send them in with those. We are responsible for them if they lose them or if they break. We're just going to tell them to keep them in their bag anyway if they do have it. Same thing goes for toys from home, trading cards like Magic the Gathering and things like that. We say just keep them at home. Don't bring them here because we have tons of stuff for them to do. They're not going to need them. Obviously, if a kid needs a stuffy to get out of your car and get them into the building, that's fine. And then we'll have them leave it in their bag, but they won't be carrying it around. They won't be playing with it all day. Weapons or toy weapons, even on dress up day, if they really want to be a pirate or something, just send them in the full outfit, but just leave the sword at home. That's just a safety thing that we ask for everybody, and it kind of falls into our toys from home category. And then when we do go on field trips and when we do go to the lake, there is a snack shack, and all the kids are going to see the public going to the snack shack, but we do say no money to the snack shack. Don't bring any of that. Please save your kid food. They don't need to be buying it. And then same thing on the field trips, because we want to keep them all together. We don't want to run it off to little food stands and whatnot. When you do send your kid to camp with all these things, please label everything. We do actually do a really good job of collecting all the lost and found stuff at the end of the day and then laying it out on the table. So when people drive by and parents are always like, oh, that's my towel, and the cat will grab it and they'll throw it through the window at you. And you can take it home and wash it. But obviously things get lost. There's a lot of craziness going on through the day. They're rotating around. They're having so much fun that they're just like, I have no idea where my left shoe is. So if that happens, we'll try to keep them all. And then at the end of the summer, anything that we can't give back to people, we do donate, like good towels and any shirts, swim shirts and things like that. So label everything so that way we can get it back to you.
Allergies and medications. If you, on Camp Docs, if you check off that your child is allergic to anything or needs an inhaler or anything, we are required to have that here at camp. It does need to be labeled, and we do need 2 of them. One stays with the counselor that they're with at all times, and the other will stay with our healthcare specialist, Greta. One asthma inhaler is needed. And we are not a nut-free camp. So we do have nut-free tables, and it is on, if there is a nut allergy, that is given to the lead counselor, and they do know that. So they kind of set up a nut-free table over there, but it is not a nut-free camp. So we ask that you do not bring your child to camp if they are sick, if they have a temperature over 100 degrees, and it's, we do ask, it's the same policy as school where they have to be fever-free for 24 hours. If they have any undiagnosed rash or anything like that, a sore throat, excessive coughing, any stomach issues, and any other contagious diseases, symptoms for disease.
Just again, this is Greta. She's going to be our healthcare specialist. So if you do have specific needs or something special that she's going to be reviewing the camp docs with all the staff. She's the person that's going to be where your child goes to when they're not feeling well, or if they're overheated. They're going to be stationed in the library this year where there's air conditioning. Not every room here has air conditioning. They've been slowly replacing. They added these AC units in here a few years ago, but she'll be the person. You guys will be able to contact her directly. We're gonna have a phone for her when she starts camp, and that number will be given out. But she'll have an email address. I think it's camptprc3@gmail. So we'll also get those out on the emails. But I just wanted you guys all to see Greta and know that she's going to be the person, the point person for any sort of healthcare issue. Again, every staff member will be first aid, CPR, and AED trained at the pro rescuer level, which means that's the same level that our firemen, policemen, and EMTs have more, but we're all on the same page with all the town employees as well. So everybody's able to give that first aid if needed and recognize signs of overheating, exhaustion, and anything else that they need to be looking out for. And then they'll turn them over to Greta to make sure they're attended to, so the rest of the kids can have fun.
Hey, everybody, Tim Mahowski. Just wanted to touch base, just kind of add something to that with Kaz. So along with the training, as part of their lifeguard certification. All right, as part of their lifeguard, as part of the pro rescuer certification, on their license, they actually do go through 2 modules. So they are, all of our staff are actually physically trained in administering EpiPens as well as asthma inhalers. So I know that we get that question a lot. It kind of pops up, and we do go through pretty extensive training, as well as having our healthcare consultant, Dr. Glazer. He's actually coming in to sit down and review all the processes with Kaz and I to go over everything. But if you have any questions as far as, what is the training like? What do they do? We're actually having it next week. So that's the professional rescue training that everybody will go through. We just got done lifeguard class and we have research on this Wednesday, but it's pretty extensive. I actually instruct all of your children who come here and work for us. Kaz is one of our professional rescuer instructors. So we do the training in-house. We do it at a very, very high level. So just if anybody's got any questions about any of that, please come see me. We're happy to answer any of those questions. One thing that I did come across last week when I was sitting through one of my aquatics meetings was actually a really good idea. I forgot to pass on the Kaz and it made me think of it. When you're dropping off your EpiPens or your asthma inhalers or anything like that, those school pencil cases with the zipper are like perfect for those things, because you can write your child's name on it, and you can also write emergency contact right on the plastic. And then we can that's an easy thing for us to hand back to you at the end of the week too. So just something that popped up in one of our things, great idea for passing that stuff back and forth, because we do need to return that to you each and every Friday.
Awesome, thank you. Oh, this is my turn anyway. Who's already filled out the Camp Docs paperwork? Who doesn't know what I'm talking about? That's good. That's really good. So we moved to Camp Docs this year instead of the old PDF form. This is going to be easier actually for next year. This year it took a lot to get you guys in on it, but next year you'll just be able to like sort of just check the box that everything's the same. Everything's going to be digital this year, make sure that you've done that paperwork. And the swim test permission form, we're going to talk about that in a little bit. You should have submitted your well visit and immunization records. They have to be within 18 months of the program. We actually asked that it's a 1 year. By law, it's 18 months, but we asked it's 1 year from when the program is running. So we're in August, 1 year from August. The immunization records, of course. So the swim test permission form, I'll talk more about that. That's going to govern everything we do, because we take a walk over to Long Lake every afternoon, except on field trip day. If you're not a field trip kid, you will be going to the lake that day as well. We'll cover all that in a little bit. That's super important about how you fill that out. We'll talk about that in a little bit. All right, so there's a lot of words up there, but it's on the camp registration. But on Wednesday, May 3rd, there was a water main break here at Shaker Lane, so there was no school here, which means that all the other schools in Littleton get out on Tuesday, the 27th, but this one gets out on Wednesday, the 28th. So if you have signed up for camp and you're a Shaker Lane kid, you'll be here at school on the 28th. But the rest of us are going to be over at the town offices where we have the club. All the older kids and all the out-of-town kids will be there to report to and from in the morning and the afternoon. We're going to actually transport the kids to the lake to swim that are younger. The older kids will be going to Canopy Lake for their field trip, which is normally Friday. They're going to join Teen Adventures and go out to Canopy. The younger kids will again stay behind. They'll have a typical day and they'll go swimming in the afternoon. They'll have before and after care, all out of 41 Shattuck, the old library, which is where our office is and programming space is. Does anybody have any questions about that? That's a little bit confusing. Yes. Yes. If you sign your kid up for that, they will be going there Thursday and Friday and coming over here in the afternoon. Both days. And we will have lunch once you get here. and swim. Right? So yes, but they won't be able to go on the field trip. Let's choose it. Then you'd only have 1 day of soccer. We did that later in the summer too, with the Tiger Soccer Clinic. Any other questions about that? Awesome, thank you.
We are only running Wednesday through Friday since it's that 4th of July holiday weekend. Our theme is Olympics, and then instead of a field trip on Friday, we do the Olympic Games. We do a camp run Olympic game. And then week C, we are officially sold out. And our theme is Under the Sea, and then a lot of counselors' favorite field trip, Breezy Picnic Grounds.
That special guest, don't skip that special guest too. The Terry Murray Inventor Mentor, he was a huge hit last year. I sent kids home with things to take home and use it at home too. So he was really good. That is the week that we're not shocked sold out, but that's going to be a great one for us. Week D and E also are sold out. So we're hitting the main parts of the summer. Animal adventures, favorite animal dress up. We're going to the zoo, and we have more animal adventures here. The actual crew, they're going to bring in some animals. They're going to bring in a little crocodile and stuff like that. Week E is happy holidays. So we would love to, we actually had a bunch of parent suggestions last year. We thought we did a great job of having a whole bunch of different holidays each day and having it dress up like that. So if you have ideas for holidays, or you want, I want my holiday celebrated as well, please just reach out to us. We'd be happy to accommodate that. The dress up day will be a typical Halloween. So come in a costume, anything you want. It doesn't have to be on theme. And then the field trip is Urban Air Adventure Park. And again, Kaz mentioned it, if you notice that there's a little price next to each one, so you do have to pay a little bit more money for the field trip, but that's just to cover the field trip and the bus. If you don't want to do that, we do have staff that stay back, and those staff that stay back do a great job. They have little mini activities all throughout the day, and most of the time they end up spending most of the day down at Long Lake, kind of for an extended day down there. Sometimes we'll take the boats out, which is a real privilege for even the little kids if they don't get to usually go boating, but those days that we kind of do, if we have lower numbers, we'll put them in a life jacket, we'll put them in a boat with a couple other staff, and kind of just paddle around Long Lake. They seem to really love that. So they do have a great day, even if they don't go on the field trip.
Week F, our theme is Back to the Future, which is another great performer, a camper and staff favorite. And that week we are going to Water Park New England. And then week G, Career Week, we have Terry Murray coming again, and the legendary Crazy J Squared. We have half of him today. And this week is another camper favorite. We do an in-house carnival on that last day of camp.
Actually, I messed that up. It's our magician is coming out in Step Beach.
Step Beach, the magician. Just no, that's okay. And we will pass this over to Tim because this is his area of expertise.
Hey, James. All right. By showing
Hey, guys.
how many people in this room are familiar with what Christian's Law is?
Can you hear us? Can you hear us by any chance?
Yes. What can we do for you?
Can you answer the questions which we are asking over the chat, if you don't mind?
Someone from home.
Yeah,
Please.
we'll go through all the questions at the end.
Thank you so much.
Yep. When we do the Q&A at the end, we'll read off all the online questions as well. Thanks for asking. Okay, so Christian's Law. Christian's Law is a Mass General Law. It is 111, 127A and a half. Christian's Law is something that we pay a lot of attention to. About 5 years ago, when Christian's Law came into effect, Christian's Law was voted on June 7th, right before we were about to open camp. They're about to make another pretty significant change, possibly this Thursday, to Christian's Law, which would take out the word "not" in the law, and that would then make Christian's Law permanently required for pools and water parks as well. So all those wonderful field trips that we just showed you may be impacted if that vote happens on Thursday. What happened the last time that this went through, there were a lot of public beaches and open water that said, nope, we're not taking camps anymore. We just don't want to deal with it. It's not worth the hassle to us to have to meet all of these regulations. And it's actually a pretty big cost expenditure for a lot of these places to become compliant and allow everyone to come and do this and check the books. There's liability issues. So unfortunately, it's just easier for a lot of, especially corporations, just to say, sorry, camps, we can't take you anymore. It is something that we're paying very close attention to. And hopefully on Thursday, it will get prolonged a little bit so there can be further communication that says, hey, this might not be in the best interest, or let's give everybody a little bit more time so that we can put things in place so we're not making these places inaccessible to camps. So Christian's Law, essentially what happened is this is Christian Fouchette. He went to a summer camp. His parents gave him a life jacket. They said, anytime Christian's in the water, we want this life jacket to be onto him. And then a couple hours later, after they were at the beach, they found Christian floating under a dock. He did not make it. And after that, the legislation was put in place by his parents and his local representative in order to make sure that this didn't happen anywhere else. Next, please. So the requirements of Christian's Law really do three things. Number one, they allow parents or legal guardians to provide their own properly fitting PFD to the child if they so choose. You guys all have our form that we came up with and we put up on, it used to be the seamless doc, it's now the camp doc. First thing it asks you is, do you want your kid to wear a life jacket? Yes or no? If you pick the yes option, nothing else matters. That kid wears a life jacket anytime they're near the water. If they're on the beach, anytime. It doesn't matter. They come down. We give them a wristband that's an appropriate color. We do fit checks for every single life jacket each and every single day. If you guys are familiar with the layout along Lake, they go right next to the snack shack. They sit down on the grass. We buddy them up. We make sure that they have their life jackets. Everybody is fit properly. We make sure the zippers are good, the buckles are good. If we come across any life jackets that are inserviceable, meaning that anything is wrong with that life jacket, we have extra life jackets at the lake that we'll fit them into for the day, and then we'll notify the parent at the end of the day that a new life jacket is required before that child can swim again. Ensure that all minors are swim tested and classified by skill at the first swimming session. So we're gonna have a couple pre-season swim sessions that Kaz has sent out in the communications, but we have our WSIs and we have our lifeguards and we have our camp counselors, and you come down. You need to be able to pass the Red Cross swim level 3. It's pretty difficult. So I've been in aquatics for over 20 years, and I always tell the camp counselors one thing. I don't care how mad the parents are at you or how mad the kid is at you that they have to wear a life jacket. If they can't bob 10 times, they're wearing a life jacket. If they can only swim 9 yards and not 10 yards, they have to be in a life jacket. So if anybody gets a note that their kid needs a life jacket, come take it up with me. It's my fault, but my job is to make sure that each and every day that everybody who comes to us goes home in the exact same condition. I've been around water my entire life, and I take this really, really seriously. So it's the Red Cross level 3 swim test. You can go online. It's on our Christian's Law information. It's really, really easy to find. If you have any questions, please come find me and ask. To provide a properly sized and snug fitting personal flotation device with PFD, type 1, 2, or 3, to all minor children determined to be either a non-swimmer or an at-risk swimmer. So a non-swimmer is somebody who obviously they can't swim. An at-risk swimmer is anyone who did not complete the competencies of the level 3 swim test. So any of those things. Scott, flip it. All right, so we're going to start the video here. We're going to run through a couple things that I want you guys to pay attention to as we do this. So it does say a type 1, a type 2, or a type 3. Most people here in Massachusetts are very familiar with the different types of life jackets. Type 1 life jacket, that's the big orange one that you would see, like if you're on one of the ferry boats over to the vineyard that's underneath the seats. They're really just meant to keep you buoyant. They're not fun to swim in, okay? Type 2 life jacket, very similar. You're probably gonna see one of these, same orange life jacket, but it's got the tie in the front. It's gonna be similar to what you might have on your personal boat as your extra life jackets. And then you're gonna have your type 3 life jackets. They're gonna have the buckles, they're gonna have the zippers, more of what you would use if you were going tubing or water skiing or something like that on the boat on the weekend or tubing down the river. All right. In that, pay attention. There is a big, giant white stamp thing in the back of the life jacket. It's the Coast Guard requirement. It says type 3. It says what it is. It says the weight, size, all of that kind of stuff. If your life jacket does not have that, Okay, if you go to Walmart and buy a lot of life jackets or something like that, odds are it's not going to be the type that we need. We need to have that Coast Guard stamp in the back of the life jacket. We're coming up on the couple weekends, I think like Dick's and a couple other places do buy one, get one free life jackets around this time of year. School starts to end and people start to get out on the water a little more. So look out for those sales. But it's really, really important. Your puddle jumpers, your water wings, all of those kind of things are no-goes. Your kid cannot bring that, and that is not an acceptable form of a flotation device. So what you're going to see here, this is our fit test. This is what your children go through each and every day that they come to the beach, and you'll get to kind of see exactly what we're doing. I know that, you know, for a lot of people, the water is a super scary place, and I think one of our most asked questions that we get at the preseason camp is, what's the swimming like? I'm really nervous about swimming. I don't know if I should sign my kid up for camp because you guys go to the lake. And I can assure you that it is extremely safe. It is something that not only are we swim testing them, we're putting life jackets on, but then we have a lifeguard box with no less than 10 lifeguards around the outside, a lifeguard on the stand, and then we fill that in with all the counselors who aren't lifeguard trained, but they're upper respiratory trained and could react to an emergency if they needed to.
The Massachusetts Department of Public Health is charged with protecting the health and well-being of its citizens. Within the department, the Bureau of Environmental Health has a broad mission of protecting the public's health from a variety of environmental exposures. The Bureau is comprised of 9 programs, including the Community Sanitation Program. Massachusetts General Law, Chapter 111, Section 127A.5, commonly referred to as Christian's Law, was signed into law on July 12, 2012. The law requires the Department of Public Health to develop regulations to provide swim tests and flotation devices for children at municipal and recreational programs and licensed camps at fresh or saltwater beaches. Christian's Law has 3 key elements. First, that all minors are properly swim tested pursuant to guidelines established by national safety organizations, such as the American Red Cross, YMCA, and others before their first swimming session. Second, to confirm that all minor children are provided with a properly sized and snug-fitting personal flotation device or life jacket if they test as a non-swimmer or as an at-risk swimmer. And finally, to ensure parents or legal guardians can provide a properly fitted life jacket to their child if they so choose. Our goal for this video is to provide training for programs and camps with beach waterfront activities to comply with the law. You will learn how to properly select, examine, and fit test life jackets for children in your care. The Bureau thanks all of those who are implementing Christian's Law to further protect children attending recreational programs and camps in Massachusetts.
Hello, my name is Steve McCann. I'm with the Coast Guard Auxiliary 1st District, Northern Region, supporting the Coast Guard in Massachusetts. There are many different types of personal flotation devices, also called PFDs or life jackets, that are available. It is important to choose the proper life jacket for each child. In all cases, life jackets should be United States Coast Guard certified according to type. You must use type 1, 2, or 3. It is important to note the use of inflatable life jackets is not permitted. Type 1, or offshore life jackets, are those typically found on cruise ships or boats that are traveling far from the coastline. They can be quite bulky and are not intended or recommended for aquatic activities. It can be difficult to swim with one of these jackets on. Type 2 or nearshore buoyant vests are most typically found on boats, but they are not designed for in-water activities. They are designed to keep your head out of the water. Type 3 or flotation aids are typically vest-style jackets used for water skiing or other aquatic activities. The Type 3 life jacket is the most popular life jacket for in-water activities. In addition to making sure you have the right type of life jacket, including those provided by a parent or guardian, you must also check that it is in serviceable condition. By serviceable, we mean in good and usable condition. You should give the life jacket a thorough examination to ensure it is without tears, mold, mildew, or other damage. Check the label to see if there is a legible Coast Guard certification number. Examine the jacket visually. Does it have tears or missing straps or damaged retention clips? Feel the jacket. Does the foam or buoyant material compress and spring back, or does it feel broken or brittle? Proper storage, keeping it clean, dry, and in a well-ventilated location will increase life jacket shelf life. The life jacket must also be the proper size for the intended wearer. Read the label of the life jacket to make sure it is the right size based on the child's weight and chest size. It is important to conduct a fit test to ensure the life jacket fits snugly. An individual record, including the date and person performing the fit test, as well as the size of the life jacket selected, should be documented and maintained for reference. Once the life jacket is appropriately fastened, you should ensure the life jacket is properly fitted. Lift the child up by the shoulders of the life jacket and ensure that his or her chin and ears do not slip through. Now for the final part of the fit test. Let the child enter the water. When the child is in the water, the jacket may fit differently. If it looks like it doesn't fit, ask the child to leave the water, have the straps of the life jacket adjusted, and read the label of the life jacket to make sure it is the right size. In addition to the initial fit test, a fit check needs to be performed with each use of a life jacket. Every time there is an aquatic activity, you should perform a fit check. This should be done before the child enters the water. Double check that you are giving the child the right size life jacket based on the original fit test, and that it is properly fastened and that it still fits. Complete a visual check to ensure the life jacket is secured and fitting properly. Only then should you let the child enter the water. We hope that this video has helped you and your staff members understand how to comply with important aspects of Christian's Law. Now you know how to properly select, examine, and fit test life jackets for children in your care. Please remember that there are additional resources available for accurate and up-to-date information. You can find these resources at the websites on screen. Remember, life jackets save lives, but only when worn and properly fitted.
So as far as Christian's Law go, everything that you saw there is what your child's going to experience each and every day. When they come to camp, we're going to get their life jacket from them. We're going to make sure it fits well. When we take them to the beach, they're going to have their wristband on. Kaz corrected me on it. The first question on your swim form is, do you want your kids to swim? Yes or no, period, the end. If they are no swimmer, they get a red wristband and they don't get to go anywhere near the water. All right, second question, do you want your kid in a life jacket? Third question is, do you want us to be able to swim test your kid? If they don't pass the swim test every Monday, you guys know Mondays? Yep. Mondays, they get the opportunity to retake the swim test. So it's not an end all be all, but they can, continually try. And we're going to make sure that every single time that we take them to the beach that we're doing that fit check each and every day. We're checking the life jackets. One thing that we do ask of you all is that these life jackets, the lake can be kind of dirty. There's some stuff in it sometimes as far as pollen and weeds and fish and all sorts of stuff that will make that life jacket smell pretty stinky. If by the end of the summer, it's just wet all the time. When you guys get it home on the weekend, hit it with a garden hose, stick it in a one of those Rubbermaid containers with a little bit of cleaner in it, some laundry detergent or whatever. Let it soak there for a while, spray it off with a garden hose, hang it up, make sure that it gets a chance to dry out on the weekends. All right. It just is nicer for the kids. It'll help them. It won't break down as quickly and it'll just make it more comfortable for the kids to wear it throughout the course of the entire week. Like I said, if you have any other questions about Christian's Law, please don't hesitate to ask. If you have any aquatics questions, please don't hesitate. Pick up the phone, give me a call. I'm happy to answer any questions that anybody might have to put your mind at ease. We do a lot of training. We do a lot of research to make sure that not only are we doing things the right way, but we're doing them the best way possible. And take it away, Cass.
Yeah, we apologize to people at home that couldn't hear that. We're gonna send that out to everybody as well.
One more thing about this Christian's Law testing days. If you buy a life jacket and you're curious if it's going to pass, if it's a type 3,
come on by any of these days and we will let you know. If you are curious if it fits properly, come on by any of these days. We will fit check them and tell you, yes, you can keep it, write your name on it in Sharpie, or you have to return it.
Or if it's the wrong kind or anything else. So I'm gonna email these out to everybody, but we'll be at Long Lake Beach on these days with our staff, swim test you. That will help alleviate the very, very first day of camp when we're swim testing everybody. And then you're done for the summer. You can always be retested if you want to be retested. Not gonna retest you during the week, we're gonna retest you on Monday of the next week. If you're only there for 1 week, then if you fail, you fail. I do want to say that on August 11th, we get kicked out of the schools, and then we're kind of on our own in our own buildings and around town. We have 2 programs. This program Tim came up with during the pandemic. It's called the Playground Program. It's for kindergartners through 4th grade. So if you need extra weeks of coverage with your child, what we do is we'll be either at the offices and walk over to Castle of Trees or the Fay Park or the fields behind and have the full day of activities. There's a couple half-day field trips in there. You can see them on the bottom. And well, some days will be like dropped off at Long Lake for the day. And they have aftercare available, which we did last year, which will be back at the club on Shattuck Street. Those last 2 weeks before summer. School starts on the 28th this year. So slide, please. And if your child is older, grades 4 through 8, this is just like our Teen Adventures program. There's a field trip every day. List of field trips are on the bottom. We gave you guys all that flyer. So if you do need help, and those kids can do the aftercare as well. So we have something for you every week and every day. School is not in session. So if you don't know, our offices are now where the old library was. Come over. We're on our summer hours now, 8 to 4. Monday through Friday. This is the Camp T phone. That's all on here, so you don't have to write it down and take a picture. camptprce@gmail.com. If you send an email to it today, probably nobody's going to answer. So send me any questions. This is my direct line. Please call me, ask me any question. I will sit on the phone with you for an hour. It's happened many times, and I don't mind. But during the camp day, during the camp season, you got to use this number and this email address. If you want to see me, you can. About absences, illnesses, any questions you have, any issues you have, anything you wanted to say. Hey, all the doors are locked once we start our morning meeting, so you can't get into the building. So you're going to need to call because our office is set up back there by the cafeteria. We won't hear you knocking. So the number, you're gonna have to phone with them at all times. Call them, they will come get you. Something else, Jamesy?
Yeah, I just, we do ask that you call us if your kid's gonna be absent, if you know ahead of time, give the camp a number a call, like, hey, my kid's not coming in today. If you don't, and your kid isn't here, we will call you, just to double check that they won't be in today, or if there's a certain reason for it or whatever, like, oh yeah, something happened, or, no, they're just spending the day with grandma, whatever it is. We will call you just to double check, on all our campus.
Awesome. And one more thing, if you get a reminder from Camp Doc saying your paperwork isn't done, it means it's not done and you can't come to camp. If you have a question about that, call us, we'll help you. It's also a helpline number on Camp Docs about anything technical that goes to the Camp Docs people, and they can help you. Anything else, Megan?
I don't think so.
All right, questions?
Do I do the Zoom ones real quick?
Oh, sure. Go ahead.
All right, so from Zoom land, the first question is, how do you manage kids who are beginners in swimming? So Megan, you want to answer? James?
But by beginners at swimming, I think the Christian's law kind of covers it, where we take the most precaution we can, where if they are not a good swimmer at all, they're going to be in a life jacket. And then those kids will all be in the water in a life jacket, which should hopefully keep them safe. But as Tim mentioned, we do a really good job. We actually form a swim box is what we call it. And we have people line around where they can't go any deeper. Usually the staff stands, and for the younger kids, they don't go any deeper than like their middle of their chest. So that way the kids are, that's it's still fairly deep for kids, but again, it's not super deep. They're not swimming to the end of the buoys. So there's a big swim box, and those are lifeguards that line it. There is a lifeguard in the chair. So there's tons of eyes on them. There's staff all in the water, all in along the beach playing with the kids. So we have tons of supervision down there. Is there anything else you wanted to add on that?
If they aren't comfortable going in the water, we do have sand toys where they can stay on the sand too.
All right, so the next question is, and I think this, just to confirm, this deck of slides as well as the video will be posted online. So the next question is probably answered by that, but where was the swim test sign up date listings? Where will they be located?
Yeah, you're not gonna have to sign up, we're gonna just be there.
Yep.
You just show up and come down and we'll check the book and make sure you've got the paperwork filled out. And we will just take you and sign you in, fit test you, if you need it, do the swim test, determine whether or not you're gonna need to wear a life jacket or not.
Yep. All right. Is it possible to pick up early, or are there set pickup times?
So we do have set pickup times, but if you do need to pick them up for anything, if they have an appointment or something in the afternoon, just give the Camp Tahattawan phone number a buzz and we will make sure your camp is ready for you.
Yeah, we asked like 10 minutes warning too on those,
Yeah.
so that we can get them dry or whatever they need in the water, get all their stuff together and have them ready to roll. So when you get here, you're not waiting.
And if it is like a pickup where we could be at the beach, we'll make sure that your child brings backpack and everything so that we don't have to make another stop here at Shaker Lane.
I'll take the next one. So the next question is, do you have to take the swim test if you already know that they won't pass and will need a life jacket anyway? The answer to that question is no, you do not. You can just say, hey, here's a life jacket. I want my kids in it all the time. My daughter knows how to swim and she comes to camp and she wears a life jacket all day because I'm not there. It's just whatever your comfort level is what you can tell us. And that's the whole point of Christian's Law, is that it's for you to feel comfortable and us to be doing exactly what you want us to do each and every day.
And you'll tell us that on Camp Talks. Is the swim test permission smart? You'll spot and you'll answer all those questions, and that will tell us exactly how you want us to be at the waterfront.
I will say, being very realistic, the earliest age that I've seen pass is second grade. That's where kids typically tend to pass the swim test.
All right, next question. Additional questions on Camp Docs. It says incomplete. Who told you to come in?
I'll be told.
All right, hang on. All right. Additional questions on Camp Docs. It says incomplete if you don't fill out 3 emergency contacts. What do I do if I don't have 3 emergency contacts?
By law required, so find someone, call a friend, and ask somebody, a family member, anybody, to have 3. If you don't have 3, you cannot come to camp.
All right. We have a sailing question. So sailing question, if you are doing the sailing program and you need aftercare, you sign up for aftercare just like you would for Camp T, and we drive them over to Shaker Lane in the van. All right.
If you're in the room and you have a question, I'll walk around with the microphone so these guys can hear you. So just put your hand up and I'll come. All right. Sorry, buddy.
Wait, we gotta make sure we get him a mic then. This guy.
One year you had swimming lessons. Are you going to do that again this year or no?
So the question was, are we doing swim lessons anymore? And the answer is sadly no. Due to everything that kind of came out of it, it is extremely hard to find WSIs. It is harder to find somebody who trains WSIs, which is what we need to teach swim lessons. So unfortunately, we are not in a position where we can offer that class anymore.
No, give it to us.
Austin has questions.
News and
James, do we have canoes?
yeah.
Yeah, good question, Austin. We do have canoes, but they're typically for the older kids. If you decide, Austin, that you don't want to go on a field trip on one of the Fridays and you want to stay back, we might be able to make it happen. If it's low numbers, we can put a life jacket on you and paddle you around. Good one. Thanks for asking.
How do they get from here to the after school program? Is it counselors driving the van?
How do they get from here to where?
The after school here too?
Right here.
Aftercare is just right here as well. Yep, so they'll just stay, everybody stays here for aftercare. The camp day happens here, it's 3:30, and then all the kids who got picked up are picked up, and then aftercare, we usually kind of split them off, send them to the gym, do the aftercare attendance, make sure we have everybody in aftercare that's supposed to be there, and then they just hang out, and then whenever you show up and pick them up before 5:30.
Yeah.
Same thing with before care. Before care is also here.
Yes, thank you, Tim.
I guess I'm a little lost on the swim testing. Does it happen on the first day or, I mean, like, or you have to bring them before that to somewhere else?
Yeah, great question. So we have those 3 dates available, just because it is hectic sometimes, but we do test them every Monday. So always all the staff here, we're gonna get trained next Tuesday the 20th. We're gonna use the CITs as kind of practice dummies. So we're gonna test them in the water, and actually all our under 18 staff too has to get tested as well. So all the staff, each lead counselor will run the swim test with the help of any lifeguards that are available as well in the lake, and that will happen every Monday. So even if you don't make any of these 3 dates, when your kid shows up on Monday, they're going to have a little thing that says they need to be swim tested or they need to wear a life jacket. Megan, Hannah, and I will give all of that information to the study. Yes, and if you know your kid is not going to pass it, it just saves some time. Just send the life jacket. You can even check, like Tim said, he even checks it off. I might get concerned, but I don't know if it's life jacket.
You guys said you wanted rolling drop off, but if your kid on the Monday is supposed to bring in the inhaler, do we walk them in and they bring them in?
You have 2 choices. We've done it in the past where it is the roll and drop off in the morning, and our healthcare specialist, Greta, she will be there to have you sign it off, and it goes pretty quickly.
Anybody else?
Just curious what spaces in the school you guys use.
We have the whole kindergarten wing this year, so all the classrooms in the back, closest to the playground, that's what we have. We also have the gym and the cafeteria and library as our station.
Anything else? Anybody? We did such a great job. You guys are all set.
We forgot. We got on the spot and we forgot. Nice job.
If you would like to meet your child's counselor, we have some time for that to happen as well. If you are a lead counselor, can you just stand up so that they have somewhat of an idea?
Lead counselor, stand up. So Roger's the lead of the going into 3rd graders. Ben's the 5th and 6th graders, the Tigers. Brooke's going to be the Wolves, the going into 4th grade. Catherine and Amber, with Amber, are going to be the leads of the Bobcat groups. Haley will be the Deer, the incoming kindergartners. Paige and Emily will be the Foxes and Monkeys going into the 1st grade group. So after we leave, you guys can come up and meet them and introduce your child to them if you'd like.
Thank you for coming out.
Yeah. Thanks.